The summer of 2017 marked a historic time for the United States. In Portland, Oregon, hundreds flocked outside to stare at the sun, being eclipsed by the moon. And although Portland, Oregon had a total solar eclipse, less of the population of the United States had this, with hundreds and hundreds rushing outside, staring at the sun, hoping to see something. But instead only walking away with burns to their eyes and medical attention needed. This was the first thing that came to mind when presented with today's quotation by an anonymous author, which states, "The greatest mistake you can make in life is constantly fearing you'll make one." To which the author goes on to say that if we live our lives constantly in fear of only failing, then we will never get anywhere. And I can agree with this statement, and we will look at this through two key facets of analysis. First, we look through the ambiguity effect and its effect on Anthony Robles, and secondly, we will look through the framing effect and its application to Lisanne Crooks. First, taking a look at the overwhelming sun that is the ambiguity effect, it stems from the field of psychology. This effect states that when we as humans are presented in a situation where we do not know what the outcome is, whether good or bad, we will tend to stay in the lane that we had beforehand because it is comfortable for us. And if we never step out of that comfort zone, we will never get anywhere. This is furthered by the young name of Anthony Robles. A young African-American male, he was already put on the path for non-success. This only furthered by the fact that he was born with one leg. Being an avid lover of sports, he couldn't do football, basketball, baseball, soccer, any of the normal sports that involved running. So in the 8th grade, he found the sport of wrestling. Everybody looked at him like he was a disgrace, like he would never get anywhere. He didn't know the outcome of what his career would be, but he continued to fight on. And it was because of this hard work and perseverance that he went undefeated in his junior and senior year of high school, having an overall record of 96-0. Being born in Mesa, California, he went to his state university of ASU, one of the top schools for wrestling. And in his freshman year, he decided to redshirt and continue to go on in his sophomore year to fall just short of All-American honors. But again, pushing forward, although he only had one leg, in his junior year, he became an All-American, won the Pac-12 conference, and ultimately became an NCAA champion, being the best in the nation of his weight class. Taking a look at the moon that totally eclipses the ambiguity effect, we look at the psychological effect of the framing effect. This, again, stemming from the field of psychology, states that when you are presented with a situation, if you walk in with a positive attitude, you are most likely to have a positive outcome. Or vice versa. If you walk in with a negative attitude, you will have a negative outcome. This is shown by the life of Lisanne Crooks. Again, another young African-American male who was born in Manhattan, New York, in East Harlem. He had absolutely nothing. His mother, just a month prior to his birth, was cleared of over 150 charges of conspiracy against the American government for being a part of the Black Panthers. His father, from 1981 to 1986, was put on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. He was always on the run, so Crooks never really had a relationship with his father. But instead of pondering and focusing on the negative effects in his life, he continued to move forward with every event with a positive outlook. He began his career of rapping, being a backup MC for the Digital Underground, and later on, when he became a solo artist, being involved in the East versus West Coast hip-hop battle, going against huge names like Notorious B.I.G. And it was because of this that he became an extraordinary rapper. On April 7th, 2017, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and also being put on Forbes' list of greatest artists of all time. Now, Lisanne Crooks started off with a very negative lifestyle in the beginning, but through his positive outlook, he continued to get better and better, being named the greatest rapper of all time, also known and more formally known as Tupac Shakur. So today, taking a step back and presented with looking at today's quotation, where the anonymous author writes, "The greatest mistake you can make in life is constantly fearing that you'll make one." In which he goes on to say that we as humans, as a society, if we are too scared to step out of our comfort zone, if we are too scared of making a mistake, then we will never get anywhere. We saw this today through two key facets of analysis. First, we looked through the ambiguity effect and how it applies to Anthony Robles. Secondly, we looked through the framing effect and how it applied to Lisanne Crooks. So, I am not a meteorologist, but what I do know is if you do not step out of your comfort zone, your mistakes will only total eclipse your life.